Good morning. This is a 13-month follow-up of our experience with the Bikeberry engine kit. The bike is still running reliably, although we have had to replace a few parts, including the muffler, the clutch handle, and the throttle grip. As you can see, we don't thrive on maintenance. The bike is fairly dirty. It has been stored outside in the carport. But the motor looks much as it did 13 months ago. There have been no major problems with the engine itself. And in fact, it has really required no carburetor adjustment whatsoever. As I mentioned earlier, the end of the muffler fell off, and we will be replacing that today. If you recall from our earlier video, we did initially have an idler pulley to increase chain tension. We solved this problem by filing the groove in the rear frame a bit further back on the derailleur side, which I'll show you, to allow us to move the wheel further back and increase tension that way instead. We had been adjusting the clutch tension using the adjustment screw here in the past. However, this piece of metal has stretched out, and so now the screw no longer stays in place, so we're going to replace the clutch handle today as well. In the earlier video, I commented a few things about the rear wheel. First off, the large sprocket on the rear wheel, for our hub, I did have to grind the internal circular cutout a bit larger so that it would sit well on our hub. I expected that there would be a lot of wear and tear on the spokes, and this is true, although none have failed, but you see many of the spokes have weak tension, but the wheel is still performing pretty well. Several months ago we did also replace the clutch arm because it failed, and that was an easy fix. Also, when we first assembled the bike, we noticed that the chain was catching on the sprocket, and so we did have to go back and grind the teeth on each of the teeth on the front sprocket on the motor down about 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch. And rather than taking off the sprocket, we were able to do it in place using an abrasive grinder. Not the preferred way of doing it, but it worked in our situation just fine. So here is the muffler where the end cap has fallen off. So now we'll get out our new parts here today. They're well packed. Here's our new muffler, and so our new muffler has the cap in place and it's screwed on tightly. This time there's a nylon retaining screw, so hopefully it won't fall off. I've received a lot of questions about mounting, so while we have the muffler off, I'll show you here. Our frame tube here was too large to accommodate the circular cutout in the engine block, so we went ahead and used the drilling method where we drilled a hole through the frame and used the steel plate, and we screwed on the engine through the frame that way. And there's the new muffler in place, looking good. This is our new and improved clutch handle. It looks a lot like the old one. It might be a little bit more stocky. The clutch grip is a little bit tight on the handlebar, so we're going to go ahead and spread it a little bit with a wide screwdriver blade. Okay, we've got our brake grip and our clutch, and all of our cables are secured. We have adjusted the throw on the clutch so that we have good response, and we have good chain tension. Our wheel is reasonably true, and we've cleaned up the bike, and we're ready to try it again. I'm sure this video will generate as many questions as it does answers, but we'll see. So now we'll take the bike out for a test drive, and have a good day. Thanks for watching.